Hello, Magic English 8 here. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope they are helping you with your advanced English grammar. And if you find them useful, please kindly share them with your friends and please leave your beautiful comments and your likes under the videos. Today I am with you with another unit of Communicate What You Mean, our course for advanced English grammar. So far I have put up 19 videos on my channel, and today it is the 20th, mainly focusing on exercises for adverb clauses and sequence of verb tenses. It is exercise 17 on page 116, the story of Albert Einstein's life in 2 parts. So before going on the book here, I should just remind you of what we are covering. It is pages 116 to 118 of Communicate What You Mean, and the exercises mostly center on sequence of verb tenses and adverb clauses. To better understand this video, I recommend you watch video 1 in this playlist, which is on parallel structure and coordinating conjunctions, and of course video 19, which is the previous one. It taught us the sequence of verb tenses. And today, exercise 17 on page 116. So the directions to this question is a little long, and it requires 2 learners to be working together, but I just summarize it for you. It says there is a story here, just read it, summarize it, and then another student will complete these sentences, which I have done before. So our job is to read the text, then the summary of that, and then finishing the unfinished sentences. Okay, I will read the text in case there are some words for you. Albert Einstein, 1879 to 1955. In his early years, Einstein showed no obvious sign of genius. Beautiful sentence. No obvious sign of something. So you can use it in your writing, in your speaking. He did not even talk until the age of 3. In high school in Germany, he hated the system of rote learning and the drill sergeant attitude of his teachers. So what is rote learning? It is the system by which you are supposed to memorize and just repeat and repeat. He didn't like memorizing things. He liked to discover things. And the drill sergeant attitude of his teachers, it is my way or highway. So that is the drill sergeant attitude. You gotta follow what I tell you. So he didn't like that. As a result, he annoyed them, the teachers, with his rebellious attitude. So rebellious attitude is the attitude that is not following what you want. It is against what is dictated. One of his teachers said, "You will never amount to anything." Amount to means you will never rise to, you will never become anyone. Probably. But there were also some hints of the man to be. So we could see some signs of that man in the future. At the age of 5, so you see the preposition is at. When he was given a compass, he was fascinated by the mysterious force that made the needle move. So do you know what a compass is? This is a compass. Oh, beautiful Venice. This is a compass. It shows you the geographical directions of north, south, west, east, and the others. So he was fascinated by the mysterious force that made the needle move. Before adolescence is the time before becoming an adult. It is between your childhood and moving to adulthood. Before adolescence, Einstein went through a very religious period, and he frequently argued violently with his free-thinking father because his father strayed from the path of Jewish orthodoxy. So stray means go out of. He went out of the way of Jewish orthodoxy, which is the traditional system of belief in any religion that Einstein believed in. Einstein calmed down after he began studying science, math, and philosophy on his own, means alone, by himself. He especially loved math. At age 16, he devised one of his first thought experiments. So what is a thought experiment? It says these are experiments that an individual must do in the mind. They cannot be done in a laboratory. Okay, so this was the story of Albert Einstein's early life. Now, the summary of that I have prepared, especially useful for TOEFL IBT students, where they are supposed to summarize text for their writing integrated and also for their speaking integrated parts. Anyway, Albert Einstein initially showed no signs of genius, not speaking until age 3. Disliking rote learning in German high school, he clashed with teachers, argued, or their rebellious attitudes. Despite this, he displayed early curiosity, fascinated by a compass at age 5. Einstein's adolescence saw religious conflict with his father, but his passion for science, math, and philosophy grew, leading to his pioneering thought experiments at 16. Okay, so this was a short summary of that text. I hope you know how to prepare the summary of a text. In case you need practice, this could be a good sample for you. Now, here the questions come. It says now, student B is supposed to read that summary and complete the sentence. I have completed the sentences for you. Please see if there are some new points for you in them. Until he was 3 years old, Einstein showed no obvious sign of genius and did not even talk. When Einstein was in high school, he hated the system of rote learning and the authoritarian attitude of his teachers. So instead of that drill sergeant attitude, here it brings authoritarian attitude of his teachers. Beautiful. Dictatorship, kind of. Number 3, his high school teachers in Germany did not like him because of his rebellious attitude and defiance, challenge, of the traditional teaching methods, the rote teaching system. Number 4, in spite of the fact that his high school teachers said he would never amount to anything, Einstein proved them wrong by becoming one of the most influential scientists in history. So, prove someone wrong. Beautiful. Means to prove that their sentence, their idea, or their attitude is incorrect. Before he became a teenager, Einstein went through a very religious period and frequently argued with his father about matters of faith. Number 6, in school, he annoyed his teachers whenever he challenged the conventional wisdom or questioned their authority. Okay, conventional wisdom. So it means the accepted wisdom of the time. And number 7, he treated his teachers as if he knew better than them, often engaging in intellectual debates and showing a strong independent streak. Okay, independent streak or independent point of his personality. It means he was not dependent on the teachers. So this was the first part of the exercises that we went through. Now there is a second text. It wants the second student to read and summarize and the same story. So I have done it for you again. Within a year after Einstein's father's business failed and he moved his family to northern Italy to start a new business, Einstein dropped out of school. It means did not complete the school, so left the school without graduation, and renounced his German citizenship. So renounce your ideas, renounce a belief, renounce a right means to give up So he gave up his German citizenship. He said, I don't want to be a German citizen anymore. He spent a year hiking in the Apennine Mountains of Italy, good, where he visited relatives and toured museums so that he could forget the bitter memories of his high school days in Germany. It must have been hard days for him. He then decided to enroll in the famous Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich. It is interesting to note that he failed the entrance exam because of deficiencies in botany and zoology as well as in languages. So he was not accepted. Why? Because he failed some of the probably tests or something in botany, zoology, and languages. After a year's study at a Swiss high school, however, the institute admitted him. Eventually, Einstein became a Swiss citizen. Good. Even at the Institute of Technology, Einstein's rebellious attitude continued. He cut lectures. It means while the lectures were going on, he just left the room. He did not continue the lecture. He did not sit the lecture to the end. Read what he wanted to read, used the school's lab illegally, and made his teachers hate him. One of the teachers, mathematician Hermann Minkowski, who later made valuable contributions to Einstein's new physics, called him a lazy dog. Einstein was able to pass his 2 major exams and graduate in 1900 only because he borrowed scrupulous notes from one of his classmates, Marcel Grossman, and crammed for the exams. Interesting. So, scrupulous notes, carefully detailed. So, the notes that a student has taken in the class and they were carefully done, he borrowed those notes and then crammed for the exams. So it means a short time before the exam, he just read, and he memorized all those facts for the exams. That way he could pass the exams. Interesting. And now the summary of the part. Albert Einstein, 1879-1955, dropped out of school and renounced his German citizenship after his father's business failed. He spent time in Italy, hiking and touring museums to forget his past. Einstein later enrolled at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology after failing the entrance exam initially. Despite rebellious behavior, he graduated in 1900 with the help of classmate Marcel Grossman's notes. Einstein eventually became a Swiss citizen and made significant contributions to physics. Okay, the summary of the part. And now, these sentences to be completed based on that text. His father's business in Germany failed, so the family moved in order that they could start a new business in northern Italy. In order that. We've had it in the previous videos. Number 2. Even though he failed the entrance exam to the Institute of Technology, Einstein was admitted after a year's study at a Swiss high school. Einstein had to take courses in botany, zoology, and languages before he could pass the entrance exam to the Institute of Technology. Number 4. After he had studied for 1 year in the Swiss high school, the institute admitted him, accepted him. Although he cut most of his classes at the institute, Einstein was still able to pass his 2 major exams and graduate in 1900. His attendance at the Institute of Technology was so poor that his teachers hated him. He borrowed his friends' lecture notes so that he could cram for the exams. Okay? And now, exercise 18, page 118, which is mostly centering on verb tenses. Complete the sentences using the correct tenses. Number 1. When Yolanda was living in her country, Her father always let her drive the family car, provided that she had a valid driver's license. Provided that, or if. Number 2, before she left the house, he often gave her money so that she could buy gas. Good father, caring father. Her father is a generous man, but he would never let her use the car unless she promised to drive responsibly. Drive responsibly, a beautiful chunk. Number 4, because she came home past her curfew one night, her father grounded her and refused to let her use the car for a week. Interesting. Curfew is the time that you, as a child, as a teenager, whatever, are supposed to report home, to be home. Okay? So, one night, for example, she was supposed to be home at 8 p.m., but she came home after that, 9 p.m. or whatever. So, it is past her curfew. Her father grounded her, so made her sit at home. Ground as a verb. And refused to let her use the car for a week. Number 5. Even though she was always a careful driver, she couldn't avoid the collision. So unfortunately there was an accident. Collision or accident. One night she had an accident, in spite of the fact that she was paying attention to the road. In spite of the fact that, okay, we have had it before. Subordinating conjunctions of contrast. Another time the police stopped her as soon as she pulled out of the driveway. Interesting. Nevertheless, her father usually agreed to let her use the car since he knew she needed it for school. So 2 points in this sentence. Number 1, her father usually agreed to let her use. After let, the verb form is simple. Let her use, not let her to use. This is a common mistake in many language learners. The car, since, here means because. Okay? Number 9. One night, however, you know about this comma punctuation. I have talked about it. One night, however, something happened to her, and she began driving as though she were in a hurry. As though she were after, as if, and as though. Your to be verb is verb for all the pronouns. Number 10. Until she gets a driver's license for the state she's studying in now, she will have to rely on public transportation. So, have to and has to in the present tense, and the future for that will have to. She will have to rely on, the preposition for rely on. Instead of use public transportation, the sentence is beautifully on rely on public transportation. Beautiful. Number 11. She has been thinking about buying a used car since she moved to the new state. Since means here, from the time that. Number 12. She had thought about getting a Volkswagen until she realized how expensive they are to maintain. So the maintenance cost is high. Wherever she goes in the United States, she needs to be aware of the difficult driving regulations. So we say driving regulations. We don't say driving rules, driving regulations. Number 14. People in her country drive safely, but the people here drive so recklessly. Means fast and without attention, that she feels unsafe on the road. So on the road. 15. Before she tries to take the driver's test, she wants to practice parallel parking, something for majority of the drivers, early drivers, difficult. While her mother knows that she's a good driver, she still worries about her safety on the road. Okay, so we had here both the combination of adverb clauses, and also verb tenses. What comes next will be building sentences with adverb clauses on pages 119 to 122, and then pages 122, 123, and 124, very beautiful reduction of adverb clauses, especially needed for advanced language learners, those who are aiming a high IELTS or TOEFL score or any other standardized test which they are going to take. So, as a quick review of this unit, today we mainly focused on sequence of verb tenses and also adverb clauses. There were some exercises on them. I told you that prerequisites to this video would be video 1 and video 19, especially video 19 of this playlist. Here we had the story of Albert Einstein's life on his own, which means by himself, and then the summary we had here, the sentences that we made. I'm just covering if there is something we have talked about. I just focus on prove someone wrong. It was the beautiful part we talked about. Conventional wisdom was something beautiful we talked about, means the accepted method of thinking of the time. And here the second text with its summary that we covered, and then the sentences that followed. So in these ones, here we had drive responsibly. This one was beautiful. Ground as a verb, ground someone. That was beautiful. We talked about rely on. Here it meant use. This one was beautiful. Driving regulation, the beautiful collocation that we had. And that's that. Okay, and my final comment, my friends, I hope that you have enjoyed the video. If you like it, please like the video and leave your comments. They are useful for my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please kindly do that. Thank you very much. I hope you have a brilliant day ahead of yourself. Take very good care and bye.